So we finally overcame Newcastle. Well done, Ashley Young. Now, Arsenal next on the horizon. A welcome break from the Premier League. Stephen Howson, can we win the FA Cup?
Yeah, we can.
Good. Ed, do you want to elaborate?
We could also not win the FA Cup.
Good. Both points covered. Anything else?
We're going to have to up our game massively to have any sort of chance. Although I do say that the winner of the FA Cup comes from Monday night's tie. I'm pretty sure of that.
You're writing off Liverpool.
I'm writing off Liverpool because it's not Steven Gerrard's destiny in his last game of English football ever. I can hear the BBC already getting moist about it, but it's not happening. Do one.
All right, Adam, Barnsley.
It'll be a difficult game. We have to up our game. But what we're showing at the moment is we're difficult to beat. So if we go into this game with the crowd behind us, it's going to be at Old Trafford, under the floodlights, FA Cup quarter-final. Against Arsenal, we know how to beat these guys. We beat them with Moyes. We beat them earlier on in the season when we hardly played. We didn't play well at all, did we? So, come on. We can do it again on Monday.
Tel, we haven't played a team of Arsenal's quality for a while. How do you think we'll get on?
Well, we've actually seemed to perform better against the more elite teams this season than the lesser teams. So against Arsenal, first 20 minutes at the Emirates was abysmal, but we came into the game and we scored the goals to win. And even against Chelsea and City earlier on in the season, I would say they've been the games that I've enjoyed watching the most, although we only walked away with 1 point. So, but we do need to improve. The lads are right, because if we go out there and perform how we've been playing for the last sort of 6-7 weeks, there is Arsenal will fancy their chances, but they've got a bit of a hoodoo against us. I think in the last sort of 20-odd games, they've only beaten us once or twice. We're willing the form guide to get another victory on Monday night.
All right. Now, we know we need to improve. Stephen, have you seen any signs that we will improve?
I like Herrera and Blind. I may have said that once or twice as the two sitting deep midfielders. The main problem that I think we've got is that, I think I touched on it on the last preview, when we're in possession, nobody comes short. If anything, players go away from everyone. That leads to a riskier pass. It leads to a lot of things. But I think one of the key things that I'm seeing on the pitch is that because it's long and it's predictable, because there's not that many options, so the defence can see where we're going as much as everybody else can see where we're going. The build-ups are slow. And when the build-ups are slow, it's very easy to defend against. And there was at times there where Newcastle had 8 and 9 players plus a goalkeeper in the box. I don't care who you are. That's hard to break through, regardless. Don't care. So it's just got to be a little bit faster. It's got to be a little bit shorter. And people just need to work a little bit harder. I mentioned just before we went on air that the half-time 0-0 seems to be just every single game. It seems to be waiting to the very end of a game to do something. Let's go out and attack a team. Let's go out and actually make our own imprint on the score rather than allowing something to just happen in the last few minutes.
Okay, talking of attacking, Adam, once again, chasing a goal, looking for a win, Falcao remained on the bench. Is the writing on the wall for him, or was maybe he being saved for Arsenal?
I thought about this earlier, and I think today, against Newcastle, the right substitution was to bring Mata on, because the way we'd been playing, Wayne Rooney had played well up front. He was running the lines well, and he was working the defence well. We saw that when the goal came, when he forced the error from Krul. So if we bring on a striker, we're going to bring off Fellaini. So if we bring on a striker, we've got to go to 4-4-2 or drop Rooney into the hole. He's having a good game. We don't want to drop Rooney into the hole. So the obvious substitution then is to bring Mata on. So I don't think it's a case that, we needed a goal, is scared to pick Mata. I think it was just that substitution suited our formation and the way the game was going way more than bringing on Falcao would have. That would have upset our formation and the way we had set out. In terms of are we improving, I think we are, because this 4-2-3-1 or whatever it is, as Howson said a lot this season, it gives us more options on the ball. When Ander Herrera and Daley Blind get the ball, they've got two wingers who are usually Di Maria and Ashley Young at the moment, who are providing options for them to come in short to them. And then you've got whoever's in the hole, Fellaini, Mata, whoever you want it to be, working with Wayne Rooney. So we've got more options that way. And I'd like to see this formation be played a little bit more and against Arsenal. And if it means Rooney going up front and then my boy Falcao has to sit on the bench, fair enough, because it's bringing results.
Okay, right, let's go back to Falcao. Did that. Tel, we've not spoken to you for a while about Falcao. What do you think? Where do you stand on him?
The problem he's got, I don't know what people are communicating to him, because I disagree slightly with Steve around the fact that everyone is good, that no one's coming short. I think too many of our players, including Falcao, are coming short. Whether it's Rooney, Van Persie, Falcao, our wingers like to cut inside rather than go on the outside. So we end up having our most creative players all within a sort of a 15 to 20 yard square box of each other. With the fact that teams know how to play against us, they're two solid banks of four, they crowd the midfield. There's just no room to move. What we actually need is for either Falcao or another player on the pitch to be running in behind to create a little bit of space, because nobody's got a lot of time on the ball once we get into the final third. I think that's what's affecting Falcao. You saw what he did when we got the penalty against Sunderland. He does have class, he does have ability. But the Newcastle game is a great example. There's no point bringing him on because we weren't creating chances that he was going to be able to put away anyway. And with the way he's playing in our team, dropping short, not running the channels, not trying to get in behind, it's just not. We've already got 4 or 5 players that are doing the same job that he is. £43 million is a lot of money to spend on what you already have, and it's not an improvement. So either he needs to change his game, or we need to look somewhere else to invest £43 million.
Tel, when I say in behind the defence, that's sat on its own 6-yard box though, because that's what they're doing. Teams are just sitting back and allow us to pass all the way around the box and come down the wings and then go back around the other side of the box again. There's no space in anywhere there. So it's not like maybe getting behind.
That's what happens when Tal, you rightly say that Falcao's been dropping deep for the ball, but it's all in the final third. But that's where that happens. Everyone starts coming short. Then we don't have it in the middle of the park. So when Herrera or Blind get the ball, or as it has been, Blind's getting the ball when he played in the point of the diamond, when he was getting the ball, no one was near him until we got in the final third and everything was just short.
That's the problem. There's nobody in midfield.
If we can get second and third movement, third, fourth passes into the final third.
I'm not necessarily
Adam, shut up. Let Tel respond.
What I'm saying is the system we've got. Everybody's doing the same job, and you're in a situation where we just end up to a point where it's almost you're trying to funnel everybody through one little gap. It's like trying to play football in your hallway as a kid. There's no space to move. It's literally straight lines. That's all you've got. So what we actually need to happen is for people to make, if it was that simple, everyone's defensive against Chelsea, against City, against Liverpool, that they still manage to drag people apart. Why can't we do that? It's a style of play that we're using. Otherwise, every team with quality players would be facing what Manchester United are, and we're too easy to play against. If you've got the ball, the easiest thing in Manchester United's history is where the player that had the ball had 5 or 6 options. Now when they've got the ball, they've got one, and normally it's a long ball to Fellaini.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, because nobody's coming short in good space. Guys, it's always everyone goes.
This is more interesting than the Newcastle game itself, but we've got to move on. Howson, give us your team.
My team is the same team that I wanted to see against Newcastle, which is De Gea in net, Valencia, Smalling, Rojo and Shaw, Herrera, Blind, Rooney in the hole, Falcao up front, Januzaj and Mata as my 2 wide men.
Okay.
How are you going to draw Ashley Young back?
4-3-3.
Because I like good footballers.
What? Oh, man. Sorry, man. Go on, Tel.
Let's go on, Tel. Give us your team.
Gea in goal, of course. Raphael. Smalling, our best centre-back, next to him with Rojo. And I think Luke Shaw should be over his tiredness by Monday night. So him at left-back. 3 midfielders, Daley Blind and Herrera. And who's the other guy? Michael Carrick. I think he should be fit enough to start. And then 2 wide men with Ashley Young and Januzaj. And then up front, Wayne Rooney, spearhead attack.
Okay, go on, Adam. What do you think?
Ashley Young has to start. I think I'd want to see Falcao start, but I think we should play Wayne Rooney up front, maybe with Juan Mata or Fellaini in the hole, and Youngie and Di Maria out wide.
That massive left eyebrow.
Right. Howson, I'm hoping you've got your spreadsheets at the ready. Talk to us about Arsenal.
Arsenal have got a lot of dangerous players, but it's whether they've got the bottle to turn up and do it, because it must be hard being an Arsenal fan, because you look on paper and they're amazing and they just never turn up in anything. That perennial 4th position, it do your head in. No wonder they've got nutcases like Claude on their TV channels, on their fan channels, because it must absolutely drive you bonkers. Just year after year of thinking you're going to win stuff and then never doing. It's hilarious. But on the pitch, they got Cazorla, Ozil, Sanchez. They got magic. They got players who can turn it on and rip us apart in current form.
Okay, all right. Tel, what do you think? Who's the danger man?
I think Giroud doesn't ever get spoken about enough, but he's a serious goal scorer. Since he joined,
I don't know about serious.
Yeah, I think he's pushing it a little bit there.
Since he joined Arsenal, at the same time that Van Persie comes to Manchester United, he scored more goals than Van Persie. So,
how many titles has he won? No, tell me that.
Oh no, look, of course. That means
how many games has he played compared to Van Persie?
I think he's played 15 more, which isn't a great deal. But at the end of the day, I think you've got to look at the fact that he's won less titles, but he's still a danger man. They have got it, but I think you're absolutely right. They lack bottle. They lack the ability to really deliver when it comes to the absolute, massive games like this.
All right, Adam, anything to add?
We're going to do him.
All right, thanks very much. So, Tel, score prediction.
2-0 United.
Oh, I was going to go for 2-0. I'm still going for 2-0.
Okay, nice, Mac. 2-0, 2-1, Arsenal score. Thank you very much. Good night, guys. Thanks very much.
Peace.